Hello, welcome to Johnny English. So we're talking about how to improve our English. We've spoken about motivation. We've spoken about setting goals, sticking to those goals, making small bits of progress on a regular basis, and using English as often as we can. Now, it's becoming increasingly important for people to be able to use English in such a way as to feel confident and comfortable with using the language. Now, my own example, I've lived in Poland for around 8 years now, and even now I can't say that I've mastered the language. I can communicate what I need to. I can do everyday tasks. I can go to the doctors, I can go to the shops, I can go to the garage, I can go to have a haircut, all the things that make life possible, I can do. I can communicate my needs to people here in Polish. But there's only a certain amount of Polish I need in order to do that. And it's not the case for English learners here because they are often working with foreign companies. Sometimes they're even managers who have a need to communicate at a higher level of English, or they want to further their careers. So English has become the profolingua of business. It's very, very important, almost essential to be able to communicate well in English. So many of my clients are those sorts of people who want to improve and want to become competent at using the language. So as I said before, we've spoken about motivation, we've spoken about setting ourselves goals and making progress, maybe in small steps, but regularly. So what is it that we can do to help ourselves? Well, again, some very simple things. First of all, we can engage in such things as online forums or maybe a Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is that very often calls for public comments, Twitter. We can engage with people in English. We can just have a go, see how we feel writing these things. And sometimes just the act of publishing something for the public to consume takes a lot of courage and takes confidence to do that. And if we get a good response and if people understand us, then that helps us to know that I'm communicating somehow. And not cheating by using Google or having it translated for you, but just trying to write it yourself will give you a lot of confidence. Doing everyday tasks. Sometimes here, for example, in Poland, in the main shopping centres, people generally speak English. Maybe shop assistants, not always the case, but very often they are younger people, students, etc., particularly at the weekends. It can sometimes be quite a challenge, but very, very useful to go and do things, do your shopping, if you still shop in these galleries, or you go to a cafe, order in English. Just feel like you can try that, yes? And just to test yourself, can I go into a shop and I want a strawberry ice cream with 1 scoop of ice cream? If I go into the shop and come out with strawberry ice cream with 1 scoop, then I've been successful, haven't I? If you go in and you come out with 2 scoops of cherry ice cream, well, you somehow made a mistake, didn't you? So it's really good for the confidence to feel yourself operating in English on an everyday basis. And that will then encourage you to continue to do more. Because I know how it feels. Sometimes I will actually avoid, even now, I'll actually avoid going and ordering maybe from a street vendor, maybe some kind of food, or maybe buying some fruit and vegetables because I just can't quite remember the words, or I feel a little bit strange and I have to build myself up sometimes to do it. So I know what it takes. But once you do it, you feel, yeah, I did well. I communicated, I was able to function, and it's somehow a success. So that's my advice for today. Use it in everyday situations. You don't have to always do it, but it's really good practice. Write things online, communicate with your friends even in English, and operate in an everyday setting, such as shopping in places where they may likely be able to speak a little bit of English, try it and see what the results are. So thanks for watching. Please tune in next time for another video.